Hey, this is Jimbo with Two Shots on a Barrel. Thanks so much for taking time to listen to Two Shots on a Barrel. We want to give a special thanks to Terry Woolley, who does our intro music each and every podcast. He is a talented songwriter, musician. He's located at Crystal Music in Campbellsville, Kentucky. Do a Google search, Facebook search, and you can find Terry Woolley, and he will do some magic for you. Also, special thanks to Exit Realty and Lisa Kearns, a sponsor of Two Shots on a Barrel, along with Billy Taft and Big O Tires. We could not do it. For sponsorship opportunities, you can reach out to us. Go to Two Shots on a Barrel Facebook page. Shoot us a message. We would be glad to get the information out on your establishment. Now, without further ado, here's Two Shots on a Barrel.
Two old boys ain't much for working. 2 shots on a barrel and they're talking about bourbon. Talking about a few other things that they don't know. If you've got a question, no need to ask. They don't have a clue, so raise your glass. Take a sip with the Bowl Brothers. Now it's on with the show. From the heart of central Kentucky, the bourbon capital of the world, it's Two Shots on a Barrel with your host, a couple of hot shots of their own, the Bowl Brothers.
Welcome back to Two Shots on a Barrel. I'm Jimbo along with
J-Bo.
What's going on, J-Bo?
Hey, man, it's a beautiful day outside.
It is. It kind of feels like, I was telling you this earlier, it's sort of like birds are flying by and taking like little piss breaks.
Little.
I mean, that's the only way I know to describe it, J-Bo.
Oh, my gosh, man. Maybe like a slight shower, maybe?
No, I think it's piss breaks.
Piss breaks? All right.
Yeah, I mean,
makes sense.
That's what it feels like to me. So what's going on today?
We figured we'd come in, invite a friend, and drink some Four Roses. What do you think? I think
it's outstanding. Go ahead and introduce our guest, because I know people are ready for this.
All right, see, I'm not even going to attempt to say his last name.
Yes, you are. That's right. You are who you are.
It's not as bad as it. Once you get the hang of it, it's good.
It's like smoking a cigar,
exactly,
right?
just like smoking a cigar.
Andrew something. Say it for
Dude, come on, man.
Wiehebrink.
So it's not as bad as it's spelled.
When you look at when you look at the spelling, you're like, how in the hell do you? I would never know how to spell your last name ever.
And nobody does. And when I meet somebody for the first time and they pronounce my last name right, I say, well, who do you know?
Yeah.
Because I've got a huge family, and I said, so you've met one of us before.
Gotcha. So Wiehebrink, we got him right here.
Yeah, it's so easy to say. Wiehebrink. It is a cool name. Welcome to Two Shots on a Barrel. It's good to have you, man.
Thanks for having me.
So we've heard a lot about you. I mean, we've been doing the podcast. You know, it's funny because Chad Spalding is a guy that works at ISC with you, and we should say that you work at Independent Stave Company.
Yep. And
you work pretty closely with the Chad Spalding, who I was telling you when you came in, he was a guy that I said he had been telling me about this bourbon guy that he's worked with. And we start this research and development at ISC and yada, and this guy's like, he really knows a lot about bourbon. I said, okay, tell me what he likes. And he gives me this 4 or 5 list of bourbons. And Four Roses, Yellow Label, was on that list.
Plain Yellow Label, man. I'm a fan of the stuff that's, like under $20 a bottle. Because I drink too much, and I can't afford to drink the $60 stuff.
Right.
But, when I first started off, whenever my dad got me into this, 15 years ago or whatever it was, I think with any newcomer, you want the most sought-after stuff and most expensive stuff. And I finally matured out of that. And I spend most of my time, towards the bottom of the shelf. For instance, I drink a lot of Four Roses Yellow Label. I think, to me, that's one of the best all-around bourbons. Henry McKenna, just the plain $10
that's
bottle.
another one that was on that list.
Yeah, even the whiskey that I drink more than anything. It's not even a bourbon. It's called Mellow Corn.
Mellow Corn.
That was actually the bandana that I'm wearing today.
Yeah.
So and that's $9.99 a bottle or something like that. But I mean, most times over ice. But Four Roses, I can drink it neat just like I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
It's just a fantastic whiskey.
Yeah.
Now he did say a few other things about Andrew that you didn't mention.
Yeah, he did.
Here we go.
Did you happen to catch the podcast we had with So we asked him about you. I don't know if you and we said, here's a guy that has every reason to be cocky, to be. to be arrogant, to all those things. And he's like, he is a little bit of that.
A little bit.
You didn't strike me as that. I got to tell you, though. We hadn't met, and when you walked in the door, you don't strike me as that type of guy.
Well, I appreciate that. No, I'm a little socially awkward, and I think it kind of comes off to some people as being arrogant. And I like to talk, and most people like to talk to me about bourbon. Right. And when I get to talking about bourbon, I won't shut up. So maybe that's kind of part where it
he
comes
also
from.
called you a badass. That's his word.
Yeah, I don't know about. I might be the furthest thing from a badass. But
he said you're loaded with tattoos.
Yeah.
Yep.
You smoke cigars.
Smoke cigars.
You're single.
Yep.
And you got a potty mouth.
I do have one of those. Yeah. No, I mean, to me, just a typical person just kind of likes the things that all guys and nowadays girls love cigars. Girls love bourbon.
Yeah.
And I live out on a farm, and there's really not a lot to do out there. And during the week, I work so much, and when I get home, it's a bourbon and cigar. That's just and vinyl records. That's kind of what I like to do.
Records.
So you're like an old soul.
Very much so. Yeah. No, I like the old stuff. Frank Sinatra. George Jones. That kind of the music. I just my last car that I had was a '76 Eldorado convertible.
Nice. That's awesome.
I just sold that about 2 weeks. And you talk about pairing, food with whiskey and cigars. That car pairs perfectly. I won't say with bourbon because you're not supposed to do that. But it does pair perfectly with like a nice cigar, just top down cruise, and I do kind of like the old stuff. Yeah,
that's cool.
That's awesome, man.
Well, we've kind of already learned some things about you, but for those of you who are just tuning in to Two Shots on a Barrel today, kind of give everybody kind of the peanut gallery background of yourself.
Grew up in Louisville. I was born and raised there. Went to University of Louisville, got a degree in mechanical engineering.
Wow.
So I did that out of college for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years, and had some really, really cool projects. My dad, he was super, super into bourbon. I mean, unbelievable. Actually, he was a lawyer for the state of Kentucky. He did environmental law, and his office was in Frankfurt, and this is a time when bourbon really wasn't doing so good. So his offices were converted Buffalo Trace warehouses.
Wow,
so he worked right next door to the distillery. So and he loved it. He got me into it, and actually those offices are now warehouses again. So it's kind of like shrunk and then like grew back.
Right,
out
that's
again.
crazy.
Yeah, but so he got me into it, and I've always just been a big bourbon fanatic. And mechanical engineering, it was fun, but it's just a lot of math. And I started a cigar and bourbon review website about, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. And I'm like, this is kind of the climate that I want to be in. And at one of my previous jobs, we did a project where we designed a machine that froze alcohol into ice cubes just with electricity. And so through the promotion of that product, right, I got to go out and meet a lot of these guys that I kind of idolized, which were, the master distillers. And I also got to meet a lot of the people that aren't master distillers. I'm like, this is a really cool industry to be in. Everybody's friendly. Everybody's always has fun. So, one day I decided, I'm just, even if I have to start out as just a tour guide or rolling barrels, I want to get into this industry. And then this job popped up, and I was not qualified for it at all. I had no experience in chemistry. But I was a bourbon fanatic, and I think, I wrote a letter to the owner after I sent him my resume. I bugged these guys, and I think they were like, all right, let's just shut this guy up and bring him in. Yeah, and then kind of the rest is history. So that was five years ago.
So how did you even learn? I mean, obviously you knew the bourbon.
Yep.
You're a bourbon guy, but so ISC says we're going to create this what we believe is a critical part of the future of our business, research and development. So did you just happen to one day look out and say, "Oh crap, I want this job"?
I did. That's kind of how it happened, and I did have a little experience. In the creation of that product that froze alcohol, there was a lot of studying to do the, into alcohol, the way it behaves in certain environments and stuff like that. I also had a weird obsession with corn, and that's I won't go back. But anyway, so I live on a small farm in Crestwood, Kentucky, and I started breeding corn for distillation, just trying to see what types if I can crossbreed. And I had a lot of that background, and I think, the kind of the mind that they were looking for is, somebody who could definitely learn it quickly, but also was kind of a tinkerer and had a passion for it. So I think, having the knowledge is one thing, but, having the, the will to learn this stuff and wanting to learn this stuff, I think was kind of the part that drew them to me.
That is amazing.
I got super lucky because these guys that were I didn't know this till afterwards, but one guy was like a PhD from Colgate, and very, very smart, qualified people that knew the chemistry. But I was pretty confident that I can learn stuff quickly, and if they gave me the information, that I would know it back and forth.
A guy that has a degree in mechanical engineering, J-Bo.
Oh yeah, that helps.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what gets you in the door, and I think the engineering, even though mechanical engineering is really not related to chemistry or chemical engineering in most sense, but I think that field just kind of teaches you how to think, and I think engineers by nature are kind of just really curious people.
Right.
I think that's kind of what they were looking for, not necessarily the chemistry background, the bourbon background. It didn't help. It helped out that I was a huge fan and a fanatic, but I think just somebody who knew how to think and kind of tackle problems and stuff like that.
I tell you,
that's just my guess. I've never talked to Brad about this.
We'll find out.
So,
we'll find out. We'll ask him.
Yeah,
we'll find out and let you know.
Yeah, so if you can get him on, ask him about that. I'd be
Will.
curious to know why he chose me after all this.
I tell you, you've done something right in your short 5-6 years there.
5 years, yeah.
5 years, because everybody talks about you. Out of like the 5 or 6 podcasts we've had.
I've listened to some podcasts. Like what was the one I listened to that you were like the husband of the what was it? The work husband of.
Oh, that was Jane Bowie from Maker's
There
Mark.
you go.
Yeah, no, she's awesome, and she's it was kind of we have a great partnership with Maker's Mark, just because their program is so innovative in terms of the way they utilize wood. So I like to joke to say that Jane created my job for me. She created the need for this job because I think in terms of wood innovation, they really they put a lot of investment into it. And I said Maker's 46. That was kind of where it all kicked off, and I think that was a really ballsy move by Maker's Mark to create a product using the methods that they use, because back then, and 7-8 years ago, whenever that was, putting alternatives or any kind of accelerant, what they call accelerant back in the day, into a bourbon like Maker's Mark, that had the chance to go one way or the other, and it's skyrocketed. So they built on that, and they have one of the best wood innovation programs in the world.
Michael May was on the show, and he was talking.
I love Michael.
Talking highly of
Michael.
you, highly of you, and how like you just create magic over there.
Well, I don't know about creating. It's a lot of trial and error, and I think when I came in, they had we do this experimental program where we give out barrels to distillers, and they fill it with their juice, and then we get samples back, and then. That library that we have, which I don't know if you guys have.
Yeah, Chad talked about that. I love that kind of library.
That it's not a book in it. It's the best library in the world. And that's been a really helpful tool in developing my palate and kind of my knowledge of how whiskey behaves in the barrel, because you can look at the chemical data and that says one thing, but when you look at the chemical data and then you get to taste that whiskey at the same time, that's really where you start building a whole bunch of knowledge of how these compounds interact, how they develop, when they develop. So, ISC provided me with a really, really big tool, not only in that library, but building that building down there. So it's still a learning experience every day.
Crazy.
So now, in that big old building, are you in the main warehouse, or do you have a separate place, quiet, away from all the operations?
So that building is, it's essentially just a square that's divided in two. Half of it is, there's 3 offices. It's me, Chad, and then Blake Blanford. You guys know Blake.
I do not know.
He kind of floats in and out of there. He's out in the field a lot. We have a tasting room and then a lab, and then the other half is just a shop, where we do a lot of different experiments, mostly around flavor. We do a lot of flavor development in the shop, but we also have a lot of quality experiments that go on there. We have an environmental chamber that we can adjust temperature, humidity, and all that kind of stuff, and we can put barrels in there and recreate aging environments. So we can do a lot of different stuff in the shop.
So what I like about this, after we interviewed Chad, I did a little research on, is there any other barrel companies in the world, anywhere? And I found some smaller ones, but they don't do what you do. They just make barrels.
Yeah, well, I think it's difficult to say because the R&D, I think we promote our R&D really, really well, and I think we share our knowledge that we gain, and I think it's something I like about us. We're not really afraid to hold anything back. I think quite different from the distilleries, which they're, as you guys know, very, very secretive. There are other cooperages that have R&D efforts that do papers and research and have very smart people working for them, but I feel that our outreach is better. I feel that we provide a program and an assistance that, to all of our customers, that kind of our R&D efforts are free of charge. You can come into the research center, you can spend a day, you can taste, you can learn. We can do barrel development, maturation program development. I think it's something unique that we have.
Top notch in customer service, right there.
Yeah, I think it is. It is. It's a service, and I think it works, and I think it really does, help distillers out quite a bit.
It seems like in talking to Chad with ISC, and I know one of the things that we can get into during this podcast is kind of the craft bourbon industry, which has really exploded, and I know you've been very, very instrumental in that. But it's almost as if what ISC has created is a laboratory almost for for lack of a better word, a mad scientist of bourbon.
Yeah, no, I think that's what they did. They recognized that all this innovation was coming forward, and they're like, we need a place where people can come in, we can show them, and that we can work on this different stuff. So essentially that's what it is. It's kind of an innovation lab. I mean, we do some quality stuff, but most of the stuff that we do is developed on customer product development or, new barrel, new flavor development. That's kind of what we specialize in at the lab there.
I'm thinking you're missing something.
Okay.
The only thing you're missing out there is a couple new taste testers. Right?
We're always looking for people on the tasting panel.
We don't need to be paid. We just want to.
Yeah, yeah. If you just want a couple of guys to come in and say, "All right, guys, tell me what you think about this." We're your guys.
Well, I keep that in mind. Can I get your card?
Yeah.
And, no, it's funny about tasting panel because I think people see the surface of this job and let's just say being on a tasting panel. Who wouldn't want to taste whiskey for a living every single day? But maintaining a sensory program is one of the most difficult things to do. It's very, very cool the first few times. But then people are like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? So, it's a lot of work. People come in and say, oh, we're going to drink whiskey and tell you what we think about it. And it's definitely a lot more than that. When we come in and we taste, we'll do kind of a nose test first, make sure everybody's nose is on line, and then we'll go taste. Sometimes, we have to be careful, but sometimes 8 to 15 samples in a day, and we'll spread that out. But it's not just saying, oh, this is awesome, yada, yada, yada. I mean, it's quantitative data. Like we have specific parameters that are gauged on a scale from 1 to 7 or whatever it might be. So it's a little bit more black and white.
I'm pretty sure we were born for 18 to 15 drinks in a day. Don't you think? And talking. I mean,
yeah. I have a feeling though our wives probably don't think we're creative for that.
Maybe you guys ought to come in for a tasting just to see what it's like.
I think we probably should.
Yeah. We can probably arrange that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Chad runs that place, so he can probably give us the okay.
I'm sure he can get us in there.
Yeah.
Well, we probably should take a quick break, fill up our glasses.
I think so, yeah.
And,
it's about time for round 2.
See what happens.
Absolutely. It's 2 Shots on a Barrel. We're talking with ISC's Research and Development Director. It's Andrew Wiehebrink.
Got it.
I struggled there on the
out of
the gates.
Wiehebrink.
Yeah, that's better than most.
Don't ask me to spell it. More with Andrew with ISC. Coming your way. It's 2 Shots on a Barrel.
Whether you're buying or selling, be it your first home or your last home, or building your investment portfolio, give me a call. I'm Lisa Kearns, a realtor with Exit Realty Heartland. I understand the stress and hassles involved in buying and selling, and I will be here for you. Let me put my 20-plus years experience in marketing and customer service to work for you. Give me a call, 270-402-4036. Lisa Kearns, realtor with Exit Realty Heartland, here to work for you.
Hey, this is Jimbo.
This is J-Bo.
Man, we are so happy because, J-Bo, we got this podcast going and we got fantastic sponsors like our good buddy Billy Taft with Big O Tires.
Billy Taft, longtime friend, and I've been going to him for years for new tires at Big O Tires.
I needed a new set of tires just recently. Guess where I went?
Where'd you go?
Big O Tires here in Lebanon, Kentucky, the heart of Central Kentucky. Billy Taft. He took fantastic care of me. I know he's always taking care of you.
Yeah, heck yeah. He's even taking care of me when I broke down in Bardstown. He has a Bardstown location as well. Fixed the tires right up. Baby, I was out the door, back to Lebanon in no time.
He does a fantastic job. He's always worried about number one. You know what number one is?
What's that?
That is the customer.
Exactly.
The customer is always right when it comes to Billy Taft and Big O Tires, J-Bo.
You can get oil changes, tire rotations, new tires. Heck, he's even got used tires you can buy.
Absolutely. Whatever it is you're looking for, I guarantee you're going to find it at Big O Tires, Bardstown, or in Lebanon. Boy, and guess what? They are sponsors right here, J-Bo, on Two Shots on a Barrel.
I'm telling you what, we love Billy Taft and Big O Tires.
Go there today. Big O Tires, Billy Taft. It's in Lebanon and Bardstown, the heart of Central Kentucky.
Hey guys, this is J-Bo. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, and Facebook at Two Shots on a Barrel fan page. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe to Two Shots on a Barrel. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We love you, and stick around for more Two Shots on a Barrel. Two Shots in the Barrel. We're back with Andrew Wiehebrink.
Good job.
Yo.
Good job.
Can you believe it?
You did fantastic.
Can you believe it? Wiehebrink. It's there, man. It's
See,
Love
there.
it, man.
Once it's there, you won't forget.
I tell you, you've said that about 3 times today. You smoke enough cigars, it'll be there. You drink enough bourbon, it'll be there.
Exactly.
You say Wiehebrink enough, it's going to stick there.
And he's prophesying
Yeah.
because it's happening.
It's working. It's
Practice
working.
makes perfect, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now, what are we drinking today, boys?
This is some good stuff. Four Roses. It's a yellow label. This is actually a recommendation from way back, Andrew Wiehebrink, to Chad Littlebino Spalding, to Jim Reed. Tell us a little more about this, what we're drinking today, Andrew.
I think one of the best things about this whiskey is that number one, it's cheap. You can get 175, and it won't break your bank. But the other thing is it's just really, really good for what we call a table whiskey. And I think their kind of approach to making whiskey, especially this blend right. I mean, they have it nailed down. And I think the reason it works is because they blend, and they don't really blend for consistency. But are you guys familiar with their yeast strains? They've got 5 of them, right? So essentially, they have 5 different whiskeys. Actually, we did an experiment with Four Roses a couple years ago, and I'm not sure how many people have had a chance to taste these yeast strains isolated. Yeast is one of the major flavor developers in whiskey, and it makes a huge difference. But what they did is we took barrels, the exact same mash bill, exact same age, exact same spot in the warehouse, but they all had the different yeast strains, and we tasted those, and the differences were astounding. I mean, unbelievable. So,
Okay, I, for the dummies in the crowd, which is me and J-Bo, describe how a yeast strain even tastes.
Yeah, that's even getting to chemistry that's over my head. And yeast is responsible for a lot of the different acid productions and fermentation. And I won't get too deep into it, but different yeast strains develop different flavors. Different compounds that release different flavors or develop into certain flavors. And they've isolated these 5 yeast strains that are just rock stars, and they've got them to where this yeast is spicy, floral, fruity. This one's grassy, yada yada yada. But what they do for this blend is they take all those different types of whiskeys that they make. They have 2 mash bills, 5 yeast strains, so it's and they blend them all together. And through our research at down here at ISC, we know for a fact that when you start blending different barrels, different toast levels, different chars, it improves the quality. If it's all it really, really does. We've done studies on that to where we've run, let's just say 100% char 4 whiskey through our tasting panel. And then we've run, different blends, whether it be char 4 plus char 2, char 4 plus a toasted barrel. And our tasting panel has shown that people prefer the higher quality stuff is when it's all blend together. And I really do believe that's why this bourbon right here is a rock star, because it is a blend of a bunch of different types of bourbon. Most people think of blending for consistency. I think Four Roses, they do some of that, but I think they blend for flavor as well.
I mean, it's one of my favorites by far. It's smooth.
It's complex. And I think, that's kind of where it comes in. And, people enjoy complexity even if they don't really know, what that means. But, their palate it's more receptive to a lot of different types of flavors instead of being, one-sided. So instead of blending a bunch of different Char 4 barrels together, let's blend some Char 4s, some Char 2s, some Char 3s. You get different flavors, and I think people perceive that complexity as higher quality.
So when you talk about complexity, when I think about complexity, I think that, just the novice that I am, I think, well, if it's complex, the price should be higher. This is a complex bourbon that the price is very, very reasonable.
That's one of the reasons why I love it. Yeah, so, and there's a few of these guys on the shelves that are just, I think, that they could be charging way more for this whiskey if they really wanted to, but I commend them for keeping the price low and, making something that everybody can enjoy, a really, really nice whiskey. And, Four Roses isn't alone in that. We have tons of different producers that, make really, really high-quality products for cheap, and that's awesome. I hope it stays like that.
Yeah, I'm all about. We're all about cheap.
Yeah,
on Two Shots on a Barrel.
That's why we get most of ours for free.
Yeah, you're J-Bo. You're drinking out of a free
10 cup.
That's
right.
Today,
Steve give you that?
Oh yes,
Steve Fonte.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, he's awesome. I say that Steve, if I was going to start a distillery, and if I had one tour guide, it would be 4 or 5 Steve Fontes. I'd have him over again. I've sat through that Limestone tour probably 10 times, and it never gets old. He's got so much passion, it just rings out. Plus, he's just a wordsmith.
We could have done a 3-hour podcast.
We really could. Stephen Fonte was fantastic. Look, I'm easy to if you enjoy bourbon, you're a cigar smoker, you're an outdoorsman. Mm-hmm. You're in my wheelhouse, man. And then if you throw a few tats on there, dude, we're gonna be buddies.
Yeah. Speaking of tats,
yep.
Roll the sleeve up. Let's see what you got there.
All right.
You got. Yep.
That's what
he's telling us about.
This is the Billy Badass coming out right here now.
This one's a Four Roses one. This one's an ISC one with all the barrels. And then
J-Bo, you need a pic. You need a pic of that, man.
We'll put it on our Facebook page.
Should I flex?
Yeah, you
I don't want to scare anybody.
There you go. All right, there it is. All right, got it.
So, yeah, I've got Four Roses. I've got an ISC tattoo here, which Chad called me crazy. And then, straight bourbon. And then people say it's a 1792 tattoo, but it just says straight bourbon whiskey since 1792.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And on this side is Booker No and a warehouse. Now, people always say you went a little gung-ho on that one, but actually the story behind this was Booker's was the very first bottle that my dad ever bought me. And he was an educator. And he said, he got it for my birthday. He said, here you go. Don't call me, don't talk to me till you finish this bottle, and then we'll talk about it.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and he passed away back in 2012. And when I went to my tattoo guy, that's another guy you ought to get on here. He is a huge bourbon fanatic. He does barrel picks. He's awesome.
What's his name?
Hey, we need to do it.
His name's Mikey King. He's out of Lexington.
Yeah.
Castle of Color. He's, man, he is so into bourbon. And he's a great dude. But anyway, I said, man, I want to do something for my dad, but I had my mom's initials. I want to do something a little bit more personal. He's like, well, what was your dad's favorite whiskey? I was like, that's it, Booker. So we did that in honor of him.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
What a story.
Yeah.
I never thought I would get cold chills on 2 shots on a barrel.
What happened?
I get cold chills all the time on my Sunday morning show.
Right.
But for the first time, and we've been doing several episodes,
Right.
That's awesome, man.
Wiehebrink brought out the cold chills, man.
So what did he say that gives you the cold
It's just the whole dad and the whole dad, and his dad passed away, and what to symbolize his father and that first bourbon that his father gave.
Cool.
I mean, dude, I'm getting cold chills now. Cool. How can you not get cold chills?
I'm just.
He's bringing it out in me, man. That's a great story.
I don't have the bottle still because he told me to finish it before we could talk again. But I still do have the box that it came in. It was one of the old, kind of pine boxes, like the light color. It was before they started batching, naming the different batches, I think. But Yeah, he bought me that, and like I said, I'm obviously into bourbon, and I wanted something to kind of commemorate him. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be into whiskey at all. I'd probably still be drinking vodka and UV vodka and all that kind of stuff.
I have a little Booker drink story myself. When we first,
do you remember?
Well,
you remember this story?
Usually, after I drink Bookers, I don't remember anything.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's really
it's up there.
Yeah, there's a reason why you haven't finished the bottle because it takes a while. But I live a block away from Booker's sister. Well, she's moved now, but when I first moved down there,
Mimi Lancaster.
Mimi was there, and I said, Mimi, I really like an autographed bottle of Booker's from Booker. Can you make that happen for me? She said, anything for you, Jeremy. Anything you want. I had no idea he was sick.
Yep.
And, on his dying bed, and he still signed that bottle.
That's awesome.
And she honked the horn. Here you go, buddy. And so I still have that bottle in the case.
That bottle's worth a lot of money to the right person.
Yes.
I tell you, here's another story about that. And so keep in mind, I'm coming in to this, and I'm, like I said, I'm a bourbon fanatic, right? And that's all I am to ISC right now. I don't have any training, but they have, you guys know that house kind of sits up on the hill.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we used to store all the experimental whiskey before we built the research center. It was down there in the basement. And my boss, he said, listen, what I want you to do is go through all that, taste every bit of it, see what's worth keeping, what's worth, just throwing away. So over the course of about 2 weeks, there was a lot of bottles up there. I went up there and I tasted everything, kind of wrote down. And anyway, so I got down to the very bottom shelf, and this box was just covered in dust. I'm like, what the hell is that? So I dusted it off, and it was a case of Bookers, whatever. We had, there was cases of Jim Beam that had 4 rows, boxes,
right.
Is what I was thinking. So I tried to pull it out of the bottom. It was stuck to the floor. Anyway, so I pulled it out, opened it up. It was a brand new case of Booker's 10th anniversary, every single bottle signed by Booker.
Oh my gosh.
I about flipped.
Oh
my gosh, man.
So yeah, we still have that down at the research center. It's six bottles in the commemorative case. Every one of them signed Booker. It says best wishes, Booker. No.
That is crazy.
Holy cow,
what a story, man.
That's museum stuff right
there.
there.
Yeah, and I told my boss, I said, I don't want to, because if a bottle of this goes missing, I'm going to be the one that gets blamed for it.
Exactly.
I'm like, y'all take it back to,
put this in a vault, man.
Yeah, put it in Missouri so I don't get in trouble.
Right.
And but no, they kept it there, and we still have it in the research center. I show people every chance I get.
That is awesome.
All right, so what a job. This is something. You're by education, you're a mechanical engineer. And then through just the love of bourbon and the study of bourbon, and Chad said you're an unbelievable student even to this day.
I read a lot, and I don't read a lot. I do audio books and stuff like that, but I was at a disadvantage when I came into this thing because I didn't know. I literally started from the bottom, and the only way that it was tasting whiskey, looking at data, and then reading. So. My first, and I still do to this day, I go on the internet every Friday. If you go to my office, you'll see a little sign that says Friday is research day. I have it hanging on my window there. And I'll, print out a couple what we call white papers or whatever you want to call them. And I'll just read and highlight them and then hang them up on my wall. And that's kind of how I got a bunch of the knowledge. And then, sometimes you'll see, different little tidbits or, conclusions or whatever. And then, we've got a lab. We'll go, test them out. So that's how I've learned. So, yeah, anybody looking to get in the bourbon industry, I think, obviously the education does help, but, a passion for this stuff goes quite a long way.
That's a life lesson right there, J-Bo.
I'm going to write that down.
You need to.
I'm going to write it down.
You need to, because that could apply to whatever.
You're right.
You're getting a whole lot more on Two Shots on a Barrel today than just talking about.
Andrew's getting deep.
Yes, he is.
He's getting deep without even acting like he's getting deep.
Yeah, man, he's flexing the muscles.
Right.
And he's giving all these wisdom.
When he flexes, Booker's head gets bigger. You notice? Just pops up and down. It's like he's talking.
Am I getting too deep?
No, man.
No, man.
It's great.
Listen, it doesn't. In all honesty, you don't have to go very far to get too deep with us.
Exactly.
But we are understanding today, aren't we?
Oh, this is great. This is great.
We're getting a lot of stuff. So we talked briefly there about the craft bourbon industry.
Yep.
We mentioned Stephen Fonte and the Bean Brothers at Limestone. That, it seems like, has really just taken off I guess what was it, 5 or 6 years ago? It hasn't been too long where you could actually. It's been longer than that you could actually have a craft bourbon distillery. But a big part of what you do is it not working with these craft bourbon distilleries?
Yeah, it's a huge part, and these guys always underestimate themselves. Like they come in like, oh, we're no Jim Beam or we're no this. I'm like, but they don't realize the effect that they're having on the entire industry. I mean, kind of their push to be different. They had to differentiate themselves because they couldn't just do the same old thing. They have to find a way to differentiate themselves, and their push to be different has really influenced a lot of what we study. A lot of the development that we do, and it's also influenced the big guys to, just kind of take a step back and go, is there anything different that we could really capitalize on? So, even though the production and the volume is small, their energy, let's call it that, their energy is kind of, what do we call it, perpetuated throughout kind of the industry, and it's been soaked up by the big guys. So, the craft movement, I think, has been wonderful. I sure enjoy tasting all the different whiskeys. It's nice to go in and just have this. Well, you guys know. I mean, remember the bourbon shelves 10 years ago? They were, now it's like the milk aisle. It goes on forever.
Yeah. Used to be your staples, and now it's all these true, as Stephen Fonte would say. You remember what he said, J-Bo?
We talked for 3 hours.
It's the unicorn.
The unicorn.
What
That's right.
do they come back for?
The unicorn.
The unicorn, that juice, and that's about a lot of these craft industries being able to create that unicorn.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I like the way Steve's put that. And people, I think it's a little bit easier. I mean, the stories behind the big guys are very, very cool. They're centuries old, and I think that's what gravitated people towards bourbon to begin with. Was the history of it. It was really kind of fascinating because when you drink, some of this stuff, you really are you're drinking a piece of history, right? But these craft guys gave something else for people to hang on to, and that was a sense of kind of grow your own, that, shop local, that kind of stuff. So I think it's kind of a different dynamic work with those craft guys. And I think in this kind of climate that we're living in now, people like that grain to table, kind of local. They love that kind of movement.
Absolutely.
And I'm one of them for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to find out who this guy actually is, what he's told us behind the scenes. We're going to let him fess up on a few things.
Oh, I'm liking it, man.
Right,
Let's bring it on.
Stay tuned.
2 Shots on a Barrel. We'll be right back. Stick around. More with Andrew Wiehebrink with ISC coming on 2 Shots on a Barrel.
Whether you're buying or selling, be it your first home or your last home, or building your investment portfolio, give me a call. I'm Lisa Kearns, a realtor with Exit Realty Heartland. I understand the stress and hassles involved in buying and selling, and I will be here for you. Let me put my 20 plus years experience in marketing and customer service to work for you. Give me a call, 270-402-4036. Lisa Kearns, realtor with Exit Realty Heartland, here to work for you.
Hey, this is Jimbo.
This is J-Bo.
Man, we are so happy because, J-Bo, we got this podcast going, and we got fantastic sponsors like our good buddy Billy Taft with Big O Tires.
Billy Taft, longtime friend, and I've been going to him for years for new tires at Big O Tires.
I needed a new set of tires just recently. Guess where I went?
Where'd you go?
Big O Tires here in Lebanon, Kentucky, the heart of Central Kentucky. Billy Taft. He took fantastic care of me. I know he's always taking care of you.
Yeah, heck yeah. He's even taking care of me when I broke down in Bardstown. He has a Bardstown location as well. Fixed the tires right up. Baby, I was out the door, back to Lebanon in no time.
He does a fantastic job. He's always worried about number one. You know what number one is?
What's that?
That is the customer.
Exactly.
The customer is always right when it comes to Billy Taft and Big O Tires, J-Bo.
You can get oil changes, tire rotations, new tires. Heck, he's even got used tires you can buy.
Absolutely. Whatever it is you're looking for, I guarantee you're going to find it at Big O Tires, Bardstown, or in Lebanon. Boy, and guess what? They are sponsors right here, J-Bo, on 2 Shots on a Barrel.
I'm telling you what, we love Billy Taft and Big O Tires.
Go there today. Big O Tires, Billy Taft. It's in Lebanon and Bardstown, the heart of Central Kentucky.
Hey guys, this is Jay Bo. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, and Facebook at Two Shots on a Barrel fan page. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe to Two Shots on a Barrel. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We love you, and stick around for more Two Shots on a Barrel.
Back to Two Shots on a Barrel. I'm Jimbo along with J-Bo and Andrew Wiehebrink with ISC. We're learning all kinds of things today. We're learning things that actually are life's lessons we did not know that we were going to get from the wisdom that is Andrew Wiehebrink.
From someone so young, he has so much wisdom.
Yeah,
He's bringing it.
Yeah. I don't think you could get this wisdom from Chad Little Beano Spalding, however.
No, not at all.
You would get a different kind of wisdom.
No.
Chad's he is a smart dude, even though he says, whatever. He's a smart guy.
He's a good dude, man. Now, let's get down to the meat and potatoes.
Oh, gosh.
Are we going to hear the real stuff now? Is that what this is something you will not know or hear anywhere else about Andrew Wiehebrink. Is that where we're going with this?
We're going to ask some serious questions now. We got to the easy stuff.
Do I have to give you serious answers?
Absolutely
All
not.
right.
Absolutely. Now, we found out that you're a fellow DJ, a bar DJ.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now, where did you DJ in this bar?
Actually, I've only DJed at one bar, and it lasted for 3 or 4 years, and I get a lot of crap over this now, just because it's contrasting. But I mean, the life of a DJ.
Yes.
PBR Louisville on 4th Street Live. So I've been playing guitar for, 20 years now.
Really?
And
Dude, just another reason.
Thing, yeah.
Just another reason.
So I've been playing guitar. I've always loved country music. I played guitar for 20 years, and I did a little stint down in Nashville on Sundays for maybe a year and a half or 2 years. And I was so bad. The only time they put me on was like Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, that's a good time.
Yeah, so
Good time.
But anyway,
You're just trying to make him feel better, J-Bo.
once that soaked up, I went to obviously college and then bartending, right? And I bartended at this bar, and they said, "Hey, we're opening up a location next door that's going to be a country bar, and do you want to do we know you have your country. You want to DJ?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll give it a shot." So they're like, "All right, well, we need you to come to this bar," which was called Tango Said Canteen. I don't know if you guys remember that bar. And we need you to audition. I'm like,
audition?
Like when? They're like, tomorrow. I'm like, I've never touched a fader in my entire life.
Right.
I don't even know where the play button is. I'm like, all right, but I was pretty good on the microphone. So I went, it was a Thursday night. There was nobody there, and I just got piss drunk and made a fool of myself. And I called the next day. I'm like, how'd I do? He's like, well, I don't think you're going to get it. But anyway, so I'm like, no, just give me a chance. Just, school me up a little bit. And they took a chance. And after about 2 or 3 weeks of training, I kind of got the hang of it and did that for about maybe 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
Started in 2012 and went to about 16 every Thursday. So I would do engineering from, 7 a.m. till, 4 or whatever it was. On Thursday nights, I'd go home. I'd let the dog out, go back downtown. I'd DJ till 4 a.m., go back home, let the dog out, go back downtown to work on Friday, go back home, let the dog out, go back downtown to DJ, rest on Saturday morning, and then do it Saturday. I did that for 4 years.
Wow. That's
Goodness
crazy.
gracious.
All right, so now we know that you have a party side.
Oh, yeah.
Now, in your spare time, you like to play golf.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a recent thing.
So we know Chad has a bar in his golf bag at all times.
He does.
What do you have in your golf bag?
What do I have? Well, it changes up from day to day. Right now, I have a Buffalo Trace barrel pick. Store pick.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a little locker at the little clubhouse, so that's where I keep my bottles of whiskey in there. So, and I've got a little Maker's Mark flask that somebody was kind enough to give me, and I hang that on my bag, and it's got a little, like the pull string for the keys on your belt. I've got it taped, so you just pull it and take a shot.
That's awesome.
When you hit a bad shot, you take a shot of whiskey, and
Well, if
it
that
doesn't
was
take me long to get drunk. Let's put it that way.
I was going to say, if that was me, I would be trash after the second hole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, constant bad shots.
I got to say something about you, J-Bo.
Yes, sir.
This is a side of you that I have not yet seen on Two Shots in a Barrel. I'm liking it. It's almost like you've done a little research. Like, we're going to take this a little different approach. And it's like you pulling out questions like, what do you got in your golf bag?
Well, heck, man, he's talking about shit
I don't
even know.
That's a great question. I'm like, where did you bring that? You're not that good,
if
man.
If you hang around Chad Spalding on the golf course, you have to have something to drink at all times.
That's a cool thing, though.
He's the most frustrating person to play with because
he's good.
He's so damn good.
He's good, man.
We took him out to my golf course, and we played around, and he just. I'm in the gutter over the rough, and it's just like watching him play so effortless.
He throws darts.
No, but those are actually good kind of. I enjoy talking about the science of bourbon. I think that's what everybody wants to kind of learn about and talk. But those kind of questions are those are the fun.
Well, see, it's kind of cool seeing you for the first time and finding out that we have very similar a past.
Yeah.
I was bar DJ. I still DJ
at one of my favorite bars of all time that I miss to this day. Coyotes.
Oh, it's the best.
It was the original. I'd venture to say probably the original country bar in Louisville. Minus, I mean, there's a couple ones out there. Was Jim Porter's considered?
Well, they had a country room.
Yeah, they had
inside.
a country room. Yeah. So
Jim Porter's gone as well.
All the good ones gone.
Oh, they're gone, man. I tell you. So it's really cool to hear. How you got to this point, and it's always
been a wayward kind of crazy road.
It's like this, and all the successful people always get their starts in a country bar. I'm telling you, that's
it. I have no prayer. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Dang. All right, so you've already talked about farming. You do some farming on the side.
Yeah, I stopped that about probably 3 years ago.
You
stopped it.
Oh, really?
Well, my drive to ISC is an hour and a half one way.
Wow. Right.
Yeah, but when I was working in Louisville, I was home in 30, 45 minutes. So I had plenty of time to do it. And I was a little bit younger back then. I had a little bit more, hitching my giddy up there. So
right.
Yeah.
I did, but, ever since I took this job, obviously working a lot more hours and stuff. And farming's hard work, even if you're doing it at a small scale.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just for essentially no money at all.
Right.
I sell like popcorn and corn on the cob, and I did the farmers market for a couple years, and it's a lot of work for a hobby.
Right.
So what's your game plan? I mean, you've been with ISC. What a common theme of Two Shots in a Barrel in our guests. It's almost like the guests we have. It's almost like it's everybody's dream job. What they're doing. I mean, we talked to Michael May with Maker's Mark. He's their HR guy. He's like, this is the best job I've ever had in my life. Chad Littlebino Spalding loves what he does. Stephen Fonte, now Andrew Wiehebrink. I mean, what's the game plan for you?
I don't have any game. This is where I'm going to be. Yeah, so I'm set for as long as they'll have me. I don't see it getting much better than this. People, would you want to be a master distiller? So I don't want to work that hard. This is where I want to be. So I stay here as long as possible. That's my game plan.
You've already changed the face of bourbon. You can say that.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but
Maker's 46, right?
Well, that wasn't me.
Well, I mean, it came out of your room over there.
Well, no, that Maker's 46 was started a couple years, before I got there. But, that was a vision. I don't. We've done a lot of cool stuff in that building that's on the shelves right now, and I take great pride in that. Kind of smile when you walk on the shelves. You kind of say, we had a hand in that. ISC, had a hand in, helping, bring their vision to life. And I think that's where it sits for me. It's just kind of, you take these people's vision for these products, and you try to help where you can, and you hope it's going to be good, and you see on the shelf that's the coolest thing in the world.
Jim, one thing I've noticed with all these bourbon guys, they will not take full credit for anything.
Their modesty.
I mean, seriously, Stephen Fonte doesn't realize how good he is.
Yeah, because you stroked him pretty hard.
I was like, dude, you need to stop for a second. I need to tell you how wonderful you are and everything. Dude, you're in the same boat.
Well, he's much better at his craft than I am. And, bourbon is such – it's a humongous – it takes so many people to make this, on a shelf. And I think it's impossible for any 1, 2, 3 to take credit for everything.
Gotcha, but you're in the mix, man.
I'm in the mix, yes, for sure. Yeah, ISC, we're definitely with the research center. We are definitely in the mix. We're, we're helping out where we can, and we're trying to bring, innovative techniques and products to the distilling industry. So I think that's, kind of where we stop. But no, I appreciate the accolades. That's awesome.
I mean, people come in here.
You're trying to get some free stuff.
I'm trying to tell
you're kissing up to him and trying to get some free stuff. You should be like me. I gave him like a actual physical product. What did you? Well, you're just kissing up.
He walked in the door and he said, "Look at all these bottles. I should have brought some." I said, "Yes, you should have."
I
won't beat around the bush.
I won't make that mistake twice. When I come back on. I've got some bourbon hats I can give you guys.
We're all about anything free.
Yeah, I don't know if I love hats.
This is from Fonte, the Yellowstone.
I'm gonna get on his ass because you know what? I've given him a few bourbon hats and he hadn't given me anything.
From what I understand, these are very, very special hats too, J-Bo. You can't find them anywhere.
Nope.
We were very privileged.
So yeah, you need to call him soon.
Yeah, I'm going to call him right after this.
Definitely. So anytime you're around here and you have those bottles in the truck, there you go. You just stick them in our window right here.
Easy. You got kind of like a key drop or something going on here?
Word on the street is you have 6 bottles of Booker in their autograph. So, Yeah.
One of those disappears. I will not be at ISC for very much longer.
Yeah, exactly. That would be worse than the Pappies that went missing several years ago.
That's still a crazy story.
That is unbelievable.
I don't know this. I just kind of heard it. I heard that guy tried to ask for his job back. What about that?
That's so stupid.
I don't know if that's true or not. That's just kind of what I heard.
But, good luck, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy stuff.
So one last question.
Yeah.
Is there anything big on the horizon
that
you can give us a little,
I can tell you there are big things on the horizon, but I am sworn to secrecy. Yeah, we have these things called blanket NDAs, right? To where, we just... If you go to the research, I don't know if you guys, when you went to the library, did you see like the panels covering?
We've just seen pictures.
We got an invite from Chad. Says you guys need to come up, and we're definitely planning on it.
Yeah. So for instance, like when you walk through the research center, if you go back to the library, you'll see panels that cover some of the shelves, and that's
top secret.
Top secret.
Wow.
And again, if you go into the lab, we're doing experiments in there, and it's something top secret. We have I call them little blankets that we cover up the bottles with because we have. Customer visits in there quite a bit. We take the distillers take that very, very seriously, the secrecy, and we try to respect that. So we do all we can to make sure
that's awesome. I can't wait.
If a secret comes out, we don't want it to be because there was a leak at ISC.
Right,
for real.
Right,
top secret, man.
Now somebody gave me a call and said, well, I actually didn't call. I talked to him. Ann Thomas.
Oh yeah,
Ann Thomas.
Yep.
She is wonderful at her job as she tells me she is.
She's on our tasting panel.
Is she really? And she hasn't invited me. Guys.
Yeah, she's on our tasting panel. She's good. She's really good.
She could drink me under the table.
Yeah, we do.
That's no joke.
Yeah, the only time I ever get a chance to drink with her is as most of with Bourbon Festival. We always have a great time there. But no, so for our tasting panel, I told you guys that like when they first come in, they'll do a nose test, right? And basically what I do is I set out 4 different glasses of identical whiskey. I use Ancient Age for certain reasons, but I'll drip chemicals into each one of those, and they have to guess what chemical it is and then what the intensity is or how many drops I put in. And then I keep score, and then at the end of the year, I tally it up, and then whoever wins, I get gift cards and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so Ann's
Ann's
always in the money. She's good.
So what kind of chemical? I mean, give me an example.
So what we tried to do was we tried to get these barrels put out certain chemicals. We'll use vanillin for an example, right? And vanillin is the main compound that gives vanilla bean its characteristic smell.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll isolate that. We'll put it in a bottle, and then we'll drip that into the whiskey. And vanillin comes from oak too. It's a degradation product of lignin. And so there's lignin's about 25% of the oak tree. So there's a lot of vanillin in whiskey. So if you say you smell vanilla, you're absolutely right.
So even if I can't smell, like if I'm a pretty good chance if it's like, oh yeah, vanilla, I smell it. I'm got a decent shot of being right. I guess.
And here's I don't know how much time you got, but I can talk about tasting whiskey but there's 400 different barrel compounds that influence flavor one way or the other. Maybe not barrel compounds. Let's just call it compounds because there's esters and all kinds of different stuff. But, odds are if you take a guess, you're going to be right.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's 400 different compounds. So, confidence is really, really big in tasting whiskey. Developing the vocabulary is really, really big in tasting whiskey. And just, mutual suggestion. That's crazy, too. That's something we have to account for in our sensory analysis. So, let's all take a sniff of our Four Roses.
Well, unfortunately.
Oh, you drank it all. Well, amen. So, I could tell you, oh my God, big old cinnamon hit on the front.
Well, what do you smell it, J-Bo?
No.
Well, see, you're supposed to say yes.
Yes. But I figured it's my tin cup.
Well, it's
up.
No, it's a term called mutual suggestion. What it is that 9 times out of 10, if somebody goes, "Oh, cinnamon," and then you smell it, you're gonna by association, you're gonna say it. And I always tell people a good exercise to do is take some very common things like an orange, apple, banana, and it's very easy to smell an apple and go, "It smells like an apple." Mm-hmm. Blindfold yourself and then have somebody hold up those common items. You'd be very, very surprised how hard it is to smell a banana.
Oh, wow.
It's really kind of tricky.
Well, try that.
Yeah, your mind plays really, really cool tricks on you when you're tasting whiskey.
That is awesome.
Good stuff.
So what we try to do, back to the thing, is we try to isolate these different compounds so that everybody has a common vocabulary and try to eliminate as much of that as we can.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Man, I tell you what, I've been wanting to bring up Ann for a while. She's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And, I think she's another one that is at her dream job. I think she is fit for her position there or wherever that position leads.
No, she's been there about as long as I have. I think she may have started maybe a couple months or before or after me. So, yeah, she likes – you can tell.
She's wonderful. And these people to come after the COVID's over and they come and visit, will they be able to meet you and Annie and the rest of them?
Me and Chad are on the road quite a bit. Actually, this year I was slated for so much travel. But we do not allow public tours down at the research center for certain reasons. Now, customers come in. If we're not doing anything, if we're there, we'll swing by and say hey and show them, here's what your money's getting you. You're getting these great barrels, and here's where all the science and stuff comes from is right here in this room. So, yeah, we try to show them as much of that as we can. But
a couple of really popular podcast people.
Well, you guys are in good with Chad. So I'm sure you guys would have no problem signing up for a tour.
So hopefully we're in good with Andrew now.
Yeah, I hope so.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got 2 great cigars that I'll probably, smoke one, if not both of these tonight.
Yeah.
Nice.
They've been in the humidor for probably 2.5 months. So
that'd be nice.
They should be good for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's good stuff. Man, it's been a pleasure. I've heard so much about you, and it's so cool to have you in here, and it's been a fun show.
It has. It definitely has. After every show we've had, Jim will go, "Hey, has anybody heard from Andrew?" So we're glad you're here finally.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's fun. So that's going to do it for this episode of Two Shots on a Barrel, and we thank Andrew Wiehebrink with ISC, the Research and Development Center. It's been a lot of fun. Next episode of Two Shots on a Barrel, J-Bo, we will kind of go a little bit of a different road.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Gwen Arts, a chef here in town, formerly from California, I believe.
Yeah.
She's going to teach us how food, pairs with different kind of bourbons.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a nice complementary. We talked about bourbon and how it pairs so nicely with whether it's a good bourbon, a good scotch. Some people like a bourbon with a good fancy coffee even. So that complementary is bourbon and food and how they go hand in hand, and we'll talk a little bit more. It's a little fancy for us, honestly, J-Bo.
It's real fancy.
But we'll see how it goes.
Now, if she happens to bring in asparagus, you're going to have to eat mine, dude. Because I'm not.
Are you not an asparagus?
I don't do asparagus, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
If I'm going to eat asparagus, it's got to be on a grill.
Oh, absolutely.
I like it on the grill.
I like it nice and crispy.
Yeah. That's if you're going to do it, you got to do it.
I think the only way I've had it was like it came out like snot. It's like
No.
Can't do it, man.
No, you got to have the crunch.
Got to.
Yeah,
Definitely. That would be a lot better. Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for today's Two Shots on a Barrel. As always, hit the subscribe button. We would love to have you subscribe to Two Shots on a Barrel. Tell some friends. Go to our Facebook page and click like. You can be able to keep up to date with everything that's going on Two Shots on a Barrel. For Two Shots on a Barrel, I'm Jimbo.
J-Bo.
So long, folks. See you next time.
See you guys.
Whether you're buying or selling, be it your first home or your last home, or building your investment portfolio, give me a call. I'm Lisa Kearns, a realtor with Exit Realty Heartland. I understand the stress and hassles involved in buying and selling, and I will be here for you. Let me put my 20 plus years experience in marketing and customer service to work for you. Give me a call, 270-402-4036. Lisa Kearns, realtor with Exit Realty Heartland, here to work for you.
Hey, this is Jimbo.
This is J-Bo.
Man, we are so happy because, J-Bo, we got this podcast going and we got fantastic sponsors like our good buddy Billy Taft with Big O Tires.
Billy Taft, longtime friend, and I've been going to him for years for new tires at Big O Tires.
I needed a new set of tires just recently. Guess where I went?
Where'd you go?
Big O Tires here in Lebanon, Kentucky, the heart of Central Kentucky. Billy Taft. He took fantastic care of me. I know he's always taking care of you.
Yeah, heck yeah. He's even taking care of me when I broke down in Bardstown. He has a Bardstown location as well. Fixed the tires right up. Baby, I was out the door, back to Lebanon in no time.
He does a fantastic job. He's always worried about number one. You know what number one is?
What's that?
That is the customer.
Exactly.
The customer is always right when it comes to Billy Taft and Big O Tires, J-Bo.
You can get oil changes, tire rotations, new tires. Heck, he's even got used tires you can buy.
Absolutely. Whatever it is you're looking for, I guarantee you're going to find it at Big O Tires, Bardstown, or in Lebanon. Boy, and guess what? They are sponsors right here, J-Bo, on Two Shots on a Barrel.
I'm telling you what, we love Billy Taft and Big O Tires.
Go there today. Big O Tires, Billy Taft. It's in Lebanon and Bardstown, the heart of Central Kentucky.
Hey guys, this is J-Bo. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, and Facebook at Two Shots on a Barrel fan page. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe to Two Shots on a Barrel. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We love you, and stick around for more Two Shots on a Barrel.